Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Serial Gaming here, and today we're going to talk about, before we go into the hype up character that everyone is going excited for, or at least mostly everyone like me, before we get into Rinoa, we want to talk about the character that actually get the least amount of rework first. Starting off the bat will be Deuce. Deuce does get one thing and one thing only, is that she actually gets a instant turn on her skill 1, which makes it an supercharging skill. But other than that, I don't think the rework that she has is anything too huge. She has just more HP attack in all of the upgrades that she has. And of course, she also gained a little bit aura on her entire kit. But Deuce is always a unit that benefits magic attacker more than physical attacker, so that part is a little bit, it limits down her capability and her flexibility as a character. Overall, I think Deuce is just not worth going for at this current point, so it's kind of sad because she's actually a very good character in my opinion, and she actually is in the same banner with Rinoa, so I was expecting her to get at least some good upgrades so that the banner can be a little bit more worth than before, but no. Even though she's been benched for quite a while, she's gonna stay there a little bit longer. Coming up next, we have Edward. Edward does get as well some HP attack in between his kit with the Crystal Level 90 upgrade. He also gained a very nice HP attack which he can use during his hide mode. So this gave him a little bit more less vulnerability as a character. Edward, however, does have the sleep debuff extended up to 6 turns, which is nice because considering the fact that sleeps go down every time you attack the enemy. So having it extends, it makes it more reliable as a crowd control character, and 6 turns may look like a lot, but given how often you hit the enemy, even with counter and everything, it's just going to go away really fast unless the enemy takes up a lot of turn. Again, while Edward may actually have better rework in my opinion than Deuce, he's still not really worth going for at this point. He's not doing a lot for a character, but if you're a fan of Final Fantasy IV, then why not go for him? His high capability does have a hidden supercharging mechanism in there, although it's an instant turn skill, so you might want to be careful when using it during a force time effect. Alright, moving on from Edward, we have Shantotto. Sadly though, Shantotto doesn't get any improvement in her BT plus effect, but she does get a very decent rework in my opinion. Like right now, she does have follow-up in between her attacks when she used her skill 1 and her skill 2, which previously was only applicable to her skill 1, so this is a very nice upgrade to the overall damage of her per action. So she'll have like 6 HP attack single target in her skill 1 and roughly around 4 AOE HP attack in her skill 2. Even her LD, which have now 5 HP dumps, it actually extends the paralysis debuff to 2 turns. Sadly though, this doesn't happen in her LD call, I think, so yeah, that part is not really good. But other than that, if you're using her in the party, she actually does a very decent capability overall as a character. She's a magic attacker, so she can roll really well with a lot of units. Even Rinoa with her FR can actually work well with Shantotto since she doesn't have any regen, so she can actually easily fulfill the condition laid by Rinoa herself. And the whole paralysis part can also work well with Dash, if of course you're running them together. And since Shantotto actually deals a lot of damage right now, you can rely on her to become your main DPT to pump up a compatible damage with the force time effect that is given. However though, Shantotto, like Garnet in my opinion, is just really expensive to be fully invested at this point. So no matter how good she is, if you really green her and everything, great, she gets a really nice upgrade, you can use her more often. But otherwise, similar as the first 2 that we discussed, she's just not worth going at this point. Alright, so finally we're getting into my bae, Rinoa. Alright, so Rinoa gets a rework in all of her skill. Similarly to before, she just gets more HP attack. Her skill 2, which is the Angel Wing skill, now becomes a supercharger skill. And her LD buff is actually quite sustainable as well and provide a little bit more buff to the entire party. Though that is not really the biggest concern that you look at while having Rinoa in the party herself. Rinoa have been given a FR and a BT during this upgrade. So previously when you play Rinoa as a character, you can swap between supportive stance or DPS stance with your Angel Wing and Angelo form, right? But right now it's a little bit different with the FR and BT upgrade. You want Rinoa mostly as a DPS character. Her FR basically is a very selfish FR, but it does have party-wide friendly condition as well, because Rinoa, when using her FR, she'll reduce all of the party's HP. So by doing so, you can actually easily fulfill the second condition of her FR, which is to perform a skill while below 100% of your max HP. So that part itself, I mean, Rinoa does have regen in her kit, but her regen is not really that strong. It's 10% max HP if I remember correctly. So since she reduced 20%, you at least have 2 turns to go before your max HP went back into the fully regen level. So that part itself is still make it more easy for you to achieve if you are the secondary character in the party itself, because Rinoa is going to be the one that enters the BT with her FR effect. So yeah, like I said before, Rinoa FR is kind of selfish because she has the ability to continuously reduce her own HP, so she doesn't have to be afraid of her own regen. So that part itself, it actually makes Rinoa's FR one of the strongest FR to be paired by to be controlled by herself, because of her capability of entering her BT to abuse that effect itself. Also, as you can see from the FR effect itself, the first condition is to perform a magic attack, and the third condition is where Rinoa has to be below 100% HP. So all this, put it up into consideration, Rinoa can easily achieve up to 80% of her FR condition, which is all of it, using just her HP attack, which she will gain a upgraded or modified HP attack from her BT. But before we talk into that, we'll talk about her FR first. Her FR is a very easy achievable condition, since Rinoa is just going to spam her HP attack, which will reduce her own HP, and then by doing so, completely fulfill the entire condition of her own FR. Also, Rinoa actually can use her skill 1, her skill 2, which is the supercharging skill, to fully boost her up to 115% if she has less than 100% HP while using that skill itself. So Rinoa she has instant turn capability. Her best friend is obviously Lunafreya at this point, because Lunafreya gave her more turn, and then she has instant turn herself like Tifa. So with Lunafreya in the party or as an LD call, she can actually abuse fully the 10 turns of her own FR or force time. And of course, in the condition where you don't have Lunafreya as your own member or as a friend support, you can always have units that perform magical attack like Deuce herself or even Shantotto, all this that is in this current banner, where they can also fulfill that condition before Rinoa enters her own BT. Alright, so now going into her BT explanation, Rinoa actually gained a BT which convert her HP attack into a Machina-like HP attack, but AOE. So what she has is she has 9 total HP attack every time she uses her HP attack. And the BT actually the HP attack is not linked to the BT effect, so it is actually granted 6 usage of her HP attack when using her BT. So even if her BT effect expired, you still didn't fully use up all the 6 turns of her HP attack, it doesn't matter, you'll still be able to use that itself. So you don't have to worry about her BT effect expiring before you ended up her BT phase. So yeah, I think Rinoa overall is a very, very strong character. I use it a lot in JP. 9 AoE HP attack is no joke, honestly. Like Tifa has a very strong single target where she can perform 12 single target HP attack averagely on a single target unit, and that's very powerful. But imagine you can spam 9 AoE to all targets. Like if you have 2 enemy, that makes up to 18 HP attack, and you have 3 enemies, it'll be 27 HP attack, which is totally insane. And someone actually tested in JP, and I also tested with my account in JP. Rinoa has the potential of going 150% of what Tifa's overall BT damage can do at a situation where we have 2 enemies, which is the most common one. So yeah, I think Rinoa is a very, very insanely good unit. Of course, she's not a must. Again, she's a very good damage dealer, and if you have Tifa, you want to skip her, welcome. It's all welcome for you to skip her, of course. And then we have VIII later down the line, which is also a single target magic damage dealer. So you can opt to go for VIII if you want to, but personally, you already know my plans for this banner. I'll definitely go hard on this banner. I might even purchase her costume. I'm thinking the Sailor Moon costume. I know it gets a little bit controversy here and there on that particular costume itself, but it's just a very particular favorite character of mine, and I think the costume grew on me a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna purchase her costume most probably, and then I'll see how it goes with the entire kit. I'm gonna gem the banner until I get the BT, or maybe I'll just token it if I get the FR way early. But for the rest of the banner in her banner mates, I don't think I'm gonna pull. Maybe just some tickets to luck sec some of the FR, but Baltir and Arif does come back later with a BT, so I might wait until later in my opinion. But of course, you can just hold on to them right now and then pull for another character's FR later. That's fine as well. But anyway, that's my plan for today. Thank you guys again for watching. Let me know what is your plan for this banner. Actually, don't let me know. Just tell me that you're gonna pull for her. If you're loyal to this channel, loyal to her, please. I'm just gonna keep promoting her just so that Square Enix can actually listen to this and actually give me a good content creator rate later down the line when pulling for her banner. Anyway guys, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.